looking around for some board insulation to put in there, trying to get some stuff rounded up before the weather gets too bad. You know me, pennies on the dollar, so everything's been way too expensive out of my budget range, but ran across some on Marketplace the other day, so headed up here to get it. About an hour and a half from the farm, really actually close where I got the tedder, but thought I'd bring you along for a little bit of it. Probably won't get much footage when we're here, setting up business, but I'll show you what we got when we get back to the farm, so stay tuned. Okay, well here it is. We made it back safe. It's not the best shape in the world. It's brand new, but it's been handled roughly. But for the price, pennies on the dollar, couldn't beat it. I had already decided not to put insulation in here due to the cost. The 2-inch stuff's what I was looking at, and you know, then regular fiberglass insulation, just way out of my budget for what we're doing here. Looked up and found this on Marketplace. He's got 20 or 30 bundles of it, I think. So went and got it. I started to double it up, but to save on the cost. So it's here in the farm office. I've got to silicone the holes up in the tin. I never have done that. And hopefully next weekend, probably go get the paneling that goes in here. Go ahead and get both those items in here. Of course, they're going to be in my way, but they'll be in the dry. And then when the weather really does turn bad, I'll already have everything I need in here and we can start working. So I'm hoping that the farm office will get finished up here, you know, in a couple of months when it really gets hard winter, because the insulation and the paneling board was all we lacked. Got me a partial desk in here for now. I think eventually right behind that antler mount there, I think I'm gonna try to cut out a hole and install a window, and then of course we still got to put the door up, but I'm not too worried about the door right now. There won't be much cold air coming in from there, so we shall see. I'm not sure what else will be on this video, but let's go see what else we can get into for today. There it is. Alright, well, another one bites the dust on projects for the service truck. Not really what I intended to get on this video, but I thought I'd bring you along for a little bit of it. Got the hole cut out, the balls installed. Only issue I had was there's a bed brace there at the beginning of the hole. I need to trim out about another 3/8 of an inch. I really need to go 1/2 inch, but 3/8 will work. Got you a couple clips of that. It hits in one spot, which is no big deal. We got the power cord tied up for the generator over to the cord reel itself. I've just got it plugged into the 30 amp side for the RVs, so I can still have two 15 amp 120 volt receptacles. Air compressor is doing good. Hopefully you guys have all seen that short video. I'll post it up here on the top corner if you haven't. No problems at all. Actually used it to pump up the trailer tires before we moved it. I should have got you a clip of that. I think the only other thing you haven't seen is added a dummy quick connect here just to keep tension on the hose, and then the reel itself is pinned here. It does have enough tension when I'm reeling it and unreeling it. This is one of those hybrid hoses, so it doesn't really wad up that bad. And I think I'm going to go ahead and probably put a disconnect here or down there at quick connect so that I can hook the feeder hose to the reel, mainly because for right now I think what I'm going to do is use a gas grill cover for the air compressor to get it covered up and keep it out of the weather. I've got basically the same thing for the generator, so both of them will be completely in the dry. Not sure if that'll be permanent or not. The only problem it would cause would be, you know, if the compressor's been running, of course, but you know, we'll work around that. I am going to have to leave the truck outside for a little while once we get the trailer in here. So I'm going to call it a day. Go home, get a shower, take the wife out to eat. It's her birthday, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed it up to this point. I'm not sure what else will be on the video or when you'll be watching this, but a few more things to button up here on the service truck. Once it's good to go, we'll pull it out and get the trailer in here and start working on those axles. Definitely stay tuned. Well, somebody finally bought the silage wagon unloader there, and naturally, sorry about the shadow, got everything tucked away in the building like I wanted it. Now I got to dig the loader back out. Oh my goodness. Well, we got him loaded up and headed out. I know one thing that I'm gonna have to start looking for, and that's a front end loader. I know that's coming with the round bales. The Oliver just, you know, it was nice for pushing stuff, but the way the hydraulics were, wouldn't work out. We never really loaded anything with it anyway, but track loader's great, and I'm glad I've got it. Picks up anything I need to, but cylinders leak down, and having to get up here in the yard all the time, and then this clutch acting up. We got it on his little trailer, so he's a happy camper. I think he's going to actually automate it into something on the back of a dump truck to pull mulch out. He runs a lawn and landscaping business, so, you know, pennies on the dollar for somebody else. Wagon's pretty much free now, so can't complain about that one bit. So, all right, I'm gonna see if I can put this thing back in the shed without tearing it down this time, and we'll see what else we can get into today. Sure is hot, like 79 degrees today. November the 7th. Looking at here, guys, is we're going to put airbags on the truck. Got a little bit of a dilemma with this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but now let me get you in the screen there. Okay, this plate here, this 1-inch plate, is part of the gooseneck hitch that we put in, and utilized a couple bolts on the frame. But I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me get that up out of the way. There's a center hole right here, an oval hole, and this plate's covering up about 1/8 of it or 1/4 of it. And the airbag bracket, they make two different ones. They make one that fits down over the leaf spring here, and then has a bracket that goes out on the frame here. But this plate's going to be way in the way. So the next one, which I like better, the airbag sits on the rear end housing, and then it's got a bracket that bolts on the inside of the frame. So let me get you underneath the truck here, and I'll show you what we're going to have to do. It's still going to be a little bit of fabrication to make it work. Okay, we might can see this side a little bit better than the other side, but the 3 bolts right here are what's bolting the hitch up. And like I said, that center bolt kind of went through the very top corner of that oval hole, and that's where the 3/4 bolt in the kit. I'll explain it in the how-to video when I get the stuff in, but I think I can just make me a flat plate and weld it to the bracket itself, and then I'll have 3 points. So you put 3 1/2-inch bolts, that's more stability than that 1 3/4, because it's really weird. It's got like a square hole in it, and then they give you a real big washer, so I mean it's not holding anything other than just keeping it squeezed to the frame. So those will be fine. We'll have to do a little bit of modification, but I think I'm going to do a how-to video on this. May not interest any of you guys, but might be out there on the web. Let me get out from under the truck here, and we'll explain why I'm going to do that. Alright, the reason I decided to go with the airbags, to get decent springs, I can get factory replacements. You know, I'm pushing right around the amount with the airbags just for factory leaf springs. If you go up, you know, and put more springs in the pack, like 5, 6, 7 leaves, which it really needs with being a service truck and pulling the trailer, then you're looking at, you know, a cost factor of about 35 to 45% more than just putting airbags on it. And then you've got the rough ride. So when it's unloaded and I don't have the trailer on, and I'm going down the road, it's going to ride worse than it does now with those heavy duty springs plus the cost. So the airbags you can adjust when it's empty. I can let the air out, adjust them to what I want to get a smooth ride, and then pump them all the way up. These are rated for 100 psi each, so that'll be plenty enough. With the gooseneck on it, you know, when I put load on it, my gray Dodge had a horrendous set of springs in the back. I never did get that truck to squat putting the gooseneck in it, even hauling that F600 home on the trailer. But like I said, these are wore out. If they were factory replacements, new ones, I'm sure it would be fine, but I'm not going to spend that money and almost have the same in airbags and not really gain myself anything than what it was from the factory, made to have just a pickup bed on it, not a service bed. So that's the reason for the airbags. All right, well, I think we're going to call this one a video. Not a lot on it, miscellaneous, rounding up some supplies for some future projects, getting a few things taken care of, knocking a few more things out here on the service truck. Told you guys I wouldn't bore you, but it's not all about the same, you know, style project. So here at the last of the video, we talked about the airbags. I've been debating about that since I bought the truck and built it. I wanted to wait and get the gooseneck trailer hooked to it, just kind of make sure everything was good. It is. So I think that's definitely going to be a key in helping out with whatever I need to put behind it. And then as I continue to load it down with tools, I can adjust the ride so that it doesn't, you know, squat in the back for any reason at all. So stay tuned. You know, I think the next video you see is going to be on the service truck itself, on the airbags. Hopefully you guys will be interested. If you're not, it'll be a tutorial for somebody, you know, out there. There are a couple videos about it, but not quite the fab work that I'm going to have to do with that hitch in there. So you know me, pennies on the dollar, and always trying to save a little bit, so we'll make it work. But I don't really like the spring airbags. I think I talked about that. I just don't like that whole chintzy design with U-bolts and stuff, and then I just have to do the same modification. So if I'm going to do it, I'd rather have the spring on the axle itself and then on the frame rail and let the leaf springs do their own thing. So we're just going to wrap it up, call it good, guys. Really appreciate everybody following along the journey with me here. Like I said, wintertime is right around the corner, so we're definitely ramping up for projects, so that's probably going to be a lot of the future content, but hopefully you'll still enjoy it and stick around with me and see what happens. Things are looking good, so until next time, thank you.